Dave. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Sunday and we're trying to test the F-150 again. So, where we left off last time with the F-150 was at 2K, and our dog Revy is chewing a plastic water bottle in the background. It's lovely noise. Thanks. Free toys! But, it left off testing the F-150 at TX2K. Found out it was going into like torque reserve mode. So Lund tried some stuff and we did some test sits on the street and it seemed to not kick in. The only problem is you can't really get this thing to work on the street with it being two-wheel drive. So we were supposed to go to a track rental last Sunday. They canceled it due to the weather, so we're headed there today, Sunday. And it's at Thunder Valley down Oklahoma. So we're about 30 minutes out. We don't really got to do much to it. We just really need to make a pass and see if it's going to work or not. And if it doesn't work, might just leave it there. Might not bring it home. Might bring empty trailer back. So we'll be there in a little bit. Hopefully get some test passes. The air's not crazy good. It's like decent. It's like 3,000 DA. It's going to be like 75 degrees. So, but we really just want to see if this torque reserve thing is going to work or not. So we'll see you guys at the track in a little bit. But we might not be bringing the truck home. I'm gonna leave it there if it doesn't work. There's no point in keeping it.
I was like, are you like trying to tell me something?
Or we could sell it. Yeah. No one's gonna want it with it like this. Well, let's see you guys at the track in a little bit. Oh, and Kevin's gonna be there. He's testing the Demon. So we put airbags on the Demon because Kevin doesn't make YouTube videos anymore again. He's back on that shit. So we put airbags on the Demon. And it did okay. I think it did like some 1.360 foots. It maybe went in the 1.2s once. I don't remember. But anyways, now we've put the Demon shocks and struts back on the car, but with universal airbags. That way he can still use all the electronic dampening controls that the Demon has and what it was built for. Probably should have done that in the first place, but he wasn't sure how it would work or not. But, so I think he's trying to see if he can get into like the mid 1.2 60 foots by utilizing the original Demon shocks, which should help a lot with the weight transfer and how those cars work from the factory and how they were programmed. So, and I'm sure he'll be modding it soon because he's realizing he just needs to mod it, quit messing around. So Kevin's gonna be there testing his car also, which would be pretty cool. And then pretty much after this weekend, if my truck does work, we're gonna switch it over to some no prep style and get ready for our local flashlight shootout event, which is technically prepped, but it's not the best track. It's pretty much like a no prep with like hand spray on it. So we got some different tires and wheels for the truck, and we got to make some suspension changes, and then we'll be testing at our local track in Amarillo in 6,000 DA. Really there it's just about going A to B. So hopefully the truck works today. Can make some decent passes, kind of mess with the boost control a little bit, and then we'll switch it over to kind of like a no prep style and see if we can get it to work there. See you guys at the track. Alright guys, riding solo today. So this is a continuation of the other video because Oklahoma City didn't go well last time. Because that's just how life is when you're modding shit that's new. So, yeah, pretty much we went out last time. Truck had the same issues, going to torque source, or throw a torque source. So worked all week with Lund, who did about like 4 or 5 revisions. Shout out to him for trying to work through this mess with me. So we did get it to work and not throw the torque reserve, and so now pretty much take it to the track so we can test it. My plan was to test it on the street actually with some slicks, but the slicks came in late, and I knew I was already signed up for this track rental, so I was just like, screw it, I'm already signed for the rental, we'll just go test it there. So hopefully today is not a huge waste of time and money like last Sunday, but that is part of it and part of being the guinea pig. So hopefully in the future, if someone ever wants to swap Turbo 400, swap their 21 plus Gen 4 F-150, maybe we'll have it figured out by the time you do it. There was another F-150 that was doing it. I think they had it for like a week or 2, and then they switched to fuel tank. So we're gonna try and figure it out today. So huge shout out to Lund for helping me out, and let's go see if we can make it pass. And I'm here by myself, so you're only gonna get like commentary before and after with a time slip maybe, and probably no video because I'm here by myself today. So we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, well, a successful, unsuccessful trip. So like I said, I was going to make 2 different videos, but last time we were out didn't go so well either. And this time went somewhat better. So just figuring out small issues. The main takeaway though is that we have successfully kicked out the torque reserve bullshit that the stock PCM was doing with the 400 on the trans brake. So actually you can see it on you can actually see it come on during the trans brake, like once it's applied and I floor it. But Lund actually did something so that it doesn't clip the timing during that. So it's technically there, but it's not clipping the timing. So now that that's working, the truck is really hard to get to hook up. So now I'm battling those issues. And we have a small fuel pressure problem, kind of like middle of the track once I get into second. So I gotta chase that down. Haven't had that issue yet, but we also haven't had the car on full power yet. So, you know, it's now gonna show any issues from it being a fresh build a couple months ago. Now they're gonna actually show up because it wasn't on full power this whole time. So another thing is, you know, before when it was doing that torque reserve is it was pulling timing. So when the car ran like a 9.3 at 145, it went like a 133 60 foot with, like, obviously I was really soft on like the boost and the RPM and the leave and everything, but it had some coil codes, TPS code, you know, it was all the codes, and it was pulling some timing. So I'm guessing that, not guessing, that was definitely helping it hook down low in the 60 foot, because the track wasn't terrible. I mean, it was a private rental, it's a hot day, it's like 90 degrees out in Oklahoma, but still fairly decent. Like, they were spraying it and prepping it. I mean, obviously it was getting hot and greasy, but still thought it would have got down the track. Like on the last pass, I only left at 3,200 RPMs and like literally 3 pounds of boost, and it still didn't take it. So I've got some learning to do with the suspension, which I have a guy that's helping me. So I'll work on some of those things. I got to chase this small fuel pressure problem. And but the good thing is we have successfully, well, Lund has successfully made the PCM work with the Turbo 400 on the 21 and up F-150. So that's really cool. So the next thing is we have our flashlight shootout here in like, I think 2 weeks now, 2 or 3 weeks. And our local track is pretty much like a no prep. It's an old bracket track. My S-550 got to work there pretty good one time when Joe was driving. We had it working pretty well for it being there. But IRS cars too, they tend to work pretty well on no prep once you can figure out some things. So what I'm gonna do now is try and prep my truck for the flashlight shootout, because there's a boosted truck class, which obviously I'm way outgunned in, because there's gonna be 4-wheel drive trucks, built motor trucks, all the trucks, and I'm a 2-wheel drive stock engine turbo 400. So and someone called me out, Enrique called me out for a grudge race. I'm like, bro, this thing hasn't even full power yet. So we're definitely in a big learning curve right now. Especially, we're gonna go try and make this 2-wheel drive truck work on no prep. So that's gonna be interesting. But I did get some different wheels, different tires. We're gonna change where the traction bars are at, where the Caltrax is at. Change the shock settings, obviously. And I'm gonna try and add a decent amount of weight in the bed of the truck. I haven't really added any weight yet. I bought a bunch of like pucks and stuff to start adding weight, because obviously the weight percentage is terrible on a truck, and the fact that it's 2-wheel drive makes it even tougher. So that's kind of the next thing we got going for the F-150. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I know this wasn't super exciting, and shout out to Aaron and Felicia for throwing the private rental, and they filmed my truck. So that's the clips. I actually did get some clips of it, but it wasn't the best video, I would say, but I just want to keep you guys up to date with what's going on. For those of you that care, check us out, coyotedirect.com. See you guys on the next one.